Hey everybody, this is Kasu and welcome to the Type 2 Hybrid videos for SITS Hybrid. Again, without further ado, let's just begin. On the first of the list, if I can move, is this guy, this ugly motherfucker. Well, not ugly, but cute ugly. This is the Belzaba, and it uses a Beelzebuffo's saddle. Its left click attack is a normal bite attack that inflicts copper. Its right click attack is a grab attack. As you saw just now, I was able to grab that raptor and pull it back in. And let's see it. Right, let's see it again. Alright. And let's try on something else that is not moving, like that Dilophosaur, for example. See? Anything that is very small will basically get insta killed. What's the drag weight on small creatures? I'm not too sure, but I assume it's just creatures smaller or slightly larger than the Dilophosaurus. Next up is its C key. What is the C key? C key is Grace of Toad or Blessing of the Toad. It basically gives you a 2.5 times XP bonus for around 2 minutes, which is quite a hefty amount of time. So this is also a very good EXP trainer. And last one is Explosive Venom Time, which is its X key. Upon using it, it's a very short range attack, but let's try it on this. Let's try it on this Triceratops. Give it a moment. Yep, there you go. It slimed and yeah, basically it's slimed. So basically it's slowed and also deals poison damage. And also the amount of damage it dealt is quite significant, as you can tell, like this. As I walk away, it's actually slowed down. Also similar to Beelzebuffo, it jumps really far and really far. Additionally, it will do the same thing that Beelzebuffo can do, where it harvests cementing paste on critters that drop chitin. And that is the Belzaba. Oh, and I also forgot to say that this is a hybrid between a Bob Dog and a Beelzebuffo. Up next is this ugly goblin looking thing called the Skekrar, which is a mixture between a Megalodon and a Tawny Dragon. So what saddle does it use? Can you go away please? Yes, you. Okay. So what saddle does it use? It uses the normal Megalodon saddle. However, you can use the tech saddle for Megalodon as it also fits. So it's worth it. So it's worth to use it too. So what can it do? Well, its left click attack is a standard Megalodon bite attack, though it does not bleed. So that's the unfortunate part. Unlike the current Megalodon that can bleed. Its right click is supposed to be a spike attack, but I can't see these. The spike attack is similar to the Tawny Dragon. As you can tell, it also increases Topper, but the amount of damage it does is a bit high. Okay. If you can see it from the side, it does shoot the spike from the front of his nose. And it's a bit hard to see and also a bit hard to aim. But if you do hit it, it actually deals significant damage and significant Topper. Yep, sorry, correction to the left click attack. It does deal bleed, and in fact it deals Nash, which is the Giganotosaurus's bleed, which is a lot worse. And I'm not getting paralyzed is because I'm on creative, so please do not assume that this guy is immune to the jellyfish. So yeah, this is the Spiny Sharky or the Skekrar, a shark that has a range attack. Up next is the Plesiosaurangler or the Centrodonosaur, which is a mixture between the plesiosaur and the anglerfish. So what can it do? So its left click is a standard bite attack, which has the same range as the plesiosaur because of its long neck. Up next is right click, which is a trash attack, as I will show here now. Yep. Again, it uses its long neck to deal the damage, so yep, still pretty good. And its right click can be used to harvest pearl with the attack. So C key is angular activation. So it activates a light source for you to delve deep into the ocean or scan the ocean floor. It's not exactly very bright, but still quite useful, especially in the dark of the ocean when nothing can reach the bottom of it. And to deactivate it, press the spacebar key. And yeah, that's the plesio, that's the central Dinosaurus. Also, for saddle wise, it uses plesiosaur saddle, and it also can use the platform saddle, like so. Up next are the carnivores. First up, the Slasioshelosraptor. It's a mixture between the Baryonyx and the Pegomastix. For its saddle, it uses the Baryonyx saddle. So, first up is its left click, which is a basic bite attack. Kind of hard to hit too. Yep. Its right click is skin grab, which basically strips or steals a smaller creature's skin, killing it and damaging it a lot. And attack buff to the attack is buffed to dino smaller than a raptor. So let's try on the below here. Yep, see, immediately one shots almost literally all any creature that are smaller than a raptor. However, this guy apparently is not smaller than a raptor, so that doesn't really work. Nor does it work on this parasaur. However, on this dodo, it works perfectly fine. Up next is this creature's C key, which is a cleansing raw, which cleanses the creature from any bleed debuffs and makes it immune for 30 seconds. To test this out, I'll be summoning a Thylacoleo. I won't hit me. Yep. As you can see, I'm bleeding, and if I use my C key to raw, I am immune from it, and also I cleanse it. So pretty good for anyone trying to fight something bigger or much larger. Like example, a Giga that can somehow bleed my ass to death. Additionally, this creature can swim pretty well, being part Baryonyx, and its X key is Death Blossom. And this only can be used for swimming. This is basically the Baryonyx spin attack, as I'm going to demonstrate here on this banter. Unfortunately, for some reason, the hitbox is a bit wonky, but it can hit things on its eye level. So this is a pretty good medium-sized creature that is semi-aquatic, similar to the Baryonyx, but even better in my opinion. So yeah, this is the Slasiosheloraptor. Up next is this guy, the Neovirinus. This creature uses its own particular saddle, so you want to ride this creature, please make a saddle out of it. And its spacebar is you can jump pretty damn high. And you can somewhat glide a bit too. Yeah, you can glide and you can jump pretty high, so pretty good for running away and traveling. Its left click attack is a bite attack that penetrates armor. Can't really show that because I don't have a saddled creature. But if anyone has a saddled creature, this is probably a good matchup against it. Its right click is a claw swipe attack that does Nash again. Which again is the very OP Giga Bleed ability. And his last ability is Call of the Phantom. This increases the stamina and HP regen of every of its species nearby. As you can tell. So this is again a pet creature, so please, if you want to use it, make more of it. And that is the Neovirinus. Up next is the Neoboa Splendylus, a mixture between the Titanoboa and the Diplodocus. It uses the Diplodocus saddle, so any benefit with the Diplodocus saddle can be applied to this creature as well. So its left click is a tail swipe attack, which literally does what the Diplodocus doesn't do this. And its right click is a bite attack, which does insane topper damage, but also its damage itself is quite insane. So if you want to only use this, you want to knock out any larger creatures. And lastly, its C key is a XP bonus, where it increases XP bonus while also increasing 15% damage along with 10% speed. As you can tell, I'm doing a slightly more damage to these guys compared to just now. Also, just a disclaimer. On the website, the keys are wrong. Left click is not a bite attack; it is a tail swipe, and right click is not a tail swipe; it's a bite attack. And yep, that is the Neoboa Spondylus. Up next is the Spinonicus, the Therizinosaurus and the Spinosaurus. This guy has a little bit of a special place in my heart because when I first played up, when we first tamed our Therizinosaurus, there was a Spinosaurus outside our house, and we sent the Therizinosaurus to attack the Spinosaurus, and our Therizinosaurus won. So yeah, a bit of backstory and why this guy is a little bit of a special place in my heart. So what saddle does it use? It uses the Spinosaurus saddle. And its camera angle is a bit low, but that's fine. So its left click is a bite attack. Its right click is a claw swipe attack, similar to a Spino. Its C key is a omnivorous harvest bite, which, if not mistaken, will harvest anything a bear harvests except for honey. And lastly, X key is quite a unique roar actually. I've never heard this roar before. Additionally, it is also a semi-aquatic creature since it can swim in the water pretty well. Like there's not much damage or speed there's not much speed fall off. Unfortunately, it does not have the hydrated buff, so yeah, just keep that in mind. And that is the Spinonicus. Up next is this creature, the Goggle Murloc, which is a mixture between an Onyx or the bat and the Palovia. It has its own unique saddle. So as you can see, it jumps pretty far. Yep, it can jump pretty far, and it also glides. Even though it doesn't look like it's gliding, but if you hold spacebar, it's actually gliding. But it's a bit hard to control, so you have to watch out for that. So let's go with its abilities. Left click is a normal bite attack. Right click is a double bite attack, but yeah, it's a double bite attack. As you can see, there's 283 numbers. It deals more damage, but you can't really spam it. So that's a DPS loss there. Its C key is a surplus energy roar, which gives a huge amount of stamina, but topper increases the more there is to fill. So this is basically your way of making sure you can run fast, but unfortunately your topper will be increasing, so you have to watch out for that. It's more of like a brought forward kind of topper and stamina value. So yeah, that is the Goggle Murloc. Up next is this wolf-like creature here, the Frostvark. The Frostvark is a mixture between the Managamma and the Direwolf. It does not need any saddle similar to the Direwolf. So its left click is a bite attack, as you can tell. Its right click is a roar, but it requires a pack, so give me a moment. Yep, similar to a wolf, it increases your stats based on increases the pack stat. So yeah, this is basically just a very good it's a better wolf in a sense. Right, his C key is sniff. So basically it's similar to a wolf, it sniff out dying creatures. And his spacebar is a jump, but similar to the Managamma, the longer you hold it. Hold on a second, what? And similar to a Managamma, based on how high or how long you jump, depends on how long you hold that spacebar. I can tell I jump pretty damn high. Alright, X key is a cold burst attack. It's a light damage attack that inflicts bone freeze. Basically, it freezes the creature on the spot. This particular ability is unique as it does additional damage against magma saws, lava golems, and phoenix. And most importantly, the next hybrid that I'm going to talk about, which is literally its rival in that sense. Next up is the Canis Infernum, which is a mixture between the Ravager and the magma saw. As you can tell, this is literally the opposite of what that of the other of the frost bug. Yeah, its left click is a bite attack. Its right click is a claw swipe, and this does volcanic gash, which bleeds and burns the target, which is kind of OP if you think about it. Additionally, when biting a corpse, you have the rapid regeneration similar to the Argent Dervis. One more thing though is that as this guy starts running, he'll start getting faster and faster. As you can tell, now that I'm running more and more. Actually, please do not put this creature near water, as it gives it the debuff Dying Flame. Basically, it feels uncomfortable. In fact, don't let it even touch water. And now that I'm gonna run, as you can tell, you can feel that it's running faster and faster as time goes on. And its C key is Super Run, which increases movement speed by 1.5 times, which I'm gonna activate now. Yep. So this is a pretty good creature to go into snowy areas with, as it has a hypothermia insulation for the rider. Also, the Canis Infernum uses the its own saddle, and that is the Canis Infernum, the rival of the Frostbug. Next up is the Mega Canis Suckers. For its saddle, it uses the Sacro Sucker saddle, and it is pretty fast on land, unlike the Sacro Suckers, and it's also pretty fast in the water, like the Sacro Suckers. Its left click attack is a normal bite attack. Its right click, on the other hand, is a heavy bite attack, which does a little bit more damage, as you can see right here. The heavy bite attack harvests a lot of polymer, like a lot of organic polymer. As you can tell, if I use my normal bite attack on this corpse here, it gives me around that much. But if I use my right click, it's still around that much. I'm not too sure whether using it on the corpse is a better idea, or using it on the penguins are a better idea. Up next, C key is Thermal Vision. When activated, basically it'll change it to look like this. And in the water, it also works perfectly, not exactly perfectly fine. Not everything is cool, but it works. So yeah, that is the Mega Canis Suckers. Up next is the Ursadon, or the Hyenodon and the Direbear hybrid. It uses its own hybrid. It uses its own saddle in this case. And what can it do? Well, first off, its left click is a standard bite attack, as you can see. Right click is a claw swipe that does heavier damage but stops you. Its C key is a roar that inflicts frighten or a fear debuff to anything mid-sized attacking it. Additionally, similar to the bear, the dire bear, it can harvest honey. So yep, that is the Ursadon. Up next, we'll go to the only flyer in type 3. It's type 3, right? No, type 2. Up next, we're going to go to the only flyer in type 2, which is the Urso Bee, which is the dire bear mixed with the bee. As you can tell, it can fly, but it's not exactly a very good flyer. Its left click attack is a bite attack. This bite attack can be used to harvest honey too. So since it can fly, it's actually a pretty good honey gatherer. You don't have to build to it, you just have to, make one and fly to whichever honey spot you like. Its right click is a sting attack that inflicts a stamina debuff on enemies, like so. But stamina debuffs can't be seen on wild creatures, so not really viewable here. Next up is his C key. His C key is a bee summoning key that is basically bee summoning. Basically, it summons a bunch of bees to help you fight, like so. So yeah, a pretty good swarming creature. Additionally, this has a bear bee protection, similar to the dire bear. Additionally, this creature does not need any saddle, so you can just pick one up and use it immediately. And that is the Asobi. Next up is the only herbivore in type 2, which is the Ranchoceratops. The Ranchoceratops is a mixture between a woolly rhino and a pachyryno. It uses the Pachyrhinosaurus saddle. Similar to the woolly rhino, it has the heart icon on the right, where the longer you run, the more damage you do upon impact. So let's try out on this dodo bird. I did 1k to the dodo bird. Now let's try without running against another creature like the Dilophosaur here. I'll stop right before it and use my left click. See, it deals significantly lesser damage. The right click is a stomp attack that also harvests any plants or stuff nearby. Its C key is Adrenaline Gas, which gives a huge boost to stamina to any teams and the player nearby. So yeah, so it basically is just pretty good. And the last key, which is the X key, is Berserk Gas. As you can tell, I'm dealing 149 damage, but upon activating the Berserk Gas, I now do 10% more damage. While running, the Berserk Gas cannot be used, as you have to stop and use the gas itself. However, unlike the Berserk Gas, while running at maximum speed, you can use the Adrenaline Gas, which is the C key, so you can run longer and further. And that is the Rhinoceratops. And last on the list is the Caliorex, which is a mixture between the Ankylosaurus and the Eutyrannus. It uses the Ankylosaurus saddle. On left click, it deals a bite attack, but it also inflicts Intimidation. Intimidation makes the creature be more susceptible to, makes them more vulnerable to damage and making them weaker. Right click is Intimidation plus Help Roar. So while aimed at the creature and pressing the right mouse button will make it scared and run away. Sometimes other creatures will attack the scared target, so let's try on this. Yep. And now it's inflicted with a Betrayal, where even creatures that run away like the Pterodon is fighting it. And lastly, its C key is a Tail Swipe attack. Along with the Intimidation and also the Roar, this Caliorex is a pretty scary creature to go up against, as they will make every wild creature, even the peaceful kind, come and attack you. And that's about it. That is the end of Sid's Hybrid Type 2. Next up will be Sid's Hybrid Type 1. This is where things will get really interesting. This is Kasu. I hope to see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye!